Hey everyone, Sarah Picaro. Just wanted to do a quick and short video about the anxiously attached. I had a client ask me after our session, so do you think I was anxiously attached? And we dove into that because what she was seeing was that she was attached. She was attached to food. She was attached to binge eating because of the attachment to stress in her life, stress from her job, and stress to the lies that she was believing about herself. She felt that there was this little thing, and she called it this like this little thing inside my head that I feed. Even though when I feed myself, it goes to my stomach, but it's like I'm trying to feed this thing inside my head, this little thing that has me believe that I can't do anything, that has me think that I'm not good enough. And of course, tears and water works. And the realization I become attached to feeding this thing because I think if I feed it, then I'll feel less stress. But that actually caused more stress, more weight gain, which caused more stress. So throughout our transformational session, came out just feeling completely relieved after about 60 minutes, completely in control. And that is what she continued to repeat. I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control. But the anxiously attached does not feel in control. They feel like they've lost themselves. And that's exactly what she said. I've lost my self-worth. I've lost my self-confidence. They lost themselves as they prioritize being loved by something else over themselves. And she prioritized the love and the need and the attachment to food over loving and serving, trusting and believing in herself. So let's dive into where this come from, because this may be what you feel and experience as well. So people with anxious or preoccupied attachment styles, there's different names for it. They have a hard time trusting others. And because of this, she said that as well. I have a really hard time trusting others. I always wonder what they're going to think about me. They're going to think that I don't get it, that I'm stupid. And this was in relation to her position with her work and her career, and felt like I can't trust them to not judge me. Because if I ask for help, if I tell them I don't understand it, then how can they trust me to do a good job if they think that I don't get it? So there's the anxiety, there's the attachment to the belief that I'm dumb. I never got it. It's always been this way. The attachment to the magnification of the issue, making it bigger and more painful than it needed to be. So at the same time, they're overly attached. And in her case, she was overly attached to using food as a resource to try and stuff and numb and avoid those feelings, which caused her even more pain and more weight gain in this case. And didn't trust herself, didn't trust that it was safe to speak up and ask for help, and made this connection to this idea that this thing was always going to be there because it always felt like it had been there. And this is often because they're afraid. We feel afraid of things that we don't know as safe. And what she attached to was the feeling that food was safe, that food would always be there for her to support her and comfort her, much like a best friend. So food became this attachment to comfort, safety, and this feeling of understanding, of connection, of being a best friend. And it may feel and sound funny to say that food's a best friend, but for so many people, it feels like it is. So hanging on to this fear, holding on to the fear and afraid of letting go, that became a part of our breakthrough in our one-to-one session together, was feeling and knowing, trusting and believing it was finally safe. And those were her words. It's finally okay to let go. And letting go and feeling that body move through her, for her, presented as a feeling of heaviness, feeling the heaviness, feeling the sadness. It was the sadness that was heavy. And midway through our session, she said, my body just feels heavy. My hands feel heavy. And that was the feeling of the sadness moving through her. Feeling now, trusting that it's safe to let go and allowing the letting go to occur. Letting go of the attachment. Finding comfort now in her control. And that's what she kept saying at the end. I am in control. I am in control after coming out of a powerful and transformational deep trance, releasing the attachment to food as comfort, connecting with the knowing that she is in control, brought her the comfort, the breakthrough, and the transformation she was looking for. So people do this, they hang on to this fear, the fear of the unknown, even though that's the very thing they want to let go of, but it's the thing that brings them comfort and attachment. It's the fear of the unknown. And in that, people often betray themselves in the process, much like this client who was betraying herself with the use of food because it brought her comfort. But how is the very thing that brings us comfort able to still betray us? Well, when it's not used in the right way, when you feel that you're out of control with it, as she did. And relationships can take the same toll on the relationships that she had with people that she worked with, took this on as well. She spent way too much time, energy, mind reading, thinking that she knew what they thought of her, way too much time assuming that they were going to think that she was stupid, that she should have got it by now, that she was dumb for not getting it yet, for not understanding. So much time projecting that feeling and those feelings and those fears onto the relationships with the people that she was closest with her family, predicting what she knew that they were going to say, anticipating the outcomes that they weren't going to be there to help her, which in fact she connected with and realized was so untrue, was false. She knew that these were loving, kind, caring, supportive people, but was attached to the fear of the assumption, of the mind reading, of the projection, and didn't want that and used food to try and avoid that feeling that she didn't want. So in that, if you suffer or struggle from an anxious attachment style, you are attached and connected to things, but the things that you believe bring you comfort and are actually bringing you harm, bringing you heaviness, bringing you sadness, bringing you worry, bringing you doubt, bringing you fear. In the very, very end of our session, it was so beautiful to experience her transformation, her breakthrough, as she tuned into her body with her eyes closed, tuned into her body, tuned into and connected with the compassion that she had with herself, and feeling the disconnect, feeling the release, feeling the letting go. And I asked her after our session, where is that thing? Because prior she said, feeling it makes me feel like I want to jump out of my skin. Like I just want to run and hide in the corner. And connecting with, reconnecting, aligning with the parts of you that you love, the truth about you. And for her in this case, that she is in control. And then sharing those expectations externally, those ones that you now feel internally. That's what transformation and breakthrough is all about, especially if you are someone who relates with having an anxious attachment, avoidant style, or having a preoccupied attachment style. So holding that space for yourself, which she was able to do so beautifully in our breakthrough session, and no longer hyper focused on someone else's experience and what they need or what they think. So just wanted to share this with you, a little bit of information about this attachment style and how it played out with the recent client that I just finished working with. So if that is you and you are ready for that breakthrough and that transformation and all the other things that you have tried haven't worked, and you're ready for that breakthrough, you're ready for something that actually works and works very, very quickly and very powerfully, I would love to connect with you and see if we are a good fit to work together one-to-one for your transformational healing sessions. You can find more information in the description below this video. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this and we'll connect soon.